promised that we would talk a bit more about why our organizations seem to be so ineffective at dealing with a well-known workplace bully. And you would think that given how much we all understand that workplace bullying is bad for business and bad for teams and bad for workplace culture, you would think that our organizations would want to deal with a workplace bully when they figure out that they've got that problem. But the sad truth is, they often don't do what we would think they should. And there's some really good reasons for that help explain why they are reluctant or ineffective at dealing with bullies. The first and most common is that just like you and me, who feel fear and dread and do not want to confront that horribly difficult person, because you know it's going to be an ugly intervention or a difficult conversation. That's how our organizational leaders feel. They know there's a lot of risk involved in confronting a bully, and so often they just don't want to deal with it. That's not a good excuse, but that is the reason that they don't do it. Another really sad reason is that our organizations are addicted to the results that bullies are so effective at getting. And so they tend to give them a get out of jail free card because they love the results. And they're almost willing to ignore the fact that those results were obtained on the backs of and with a whole team of people who now feel completely disengaged and demotivated and disgusted at the workplace that they work in. And unfortunately, if organizations continue to be addicted to those results and will ignore bad behavior that was used to achieve them, we got a problem. Another reality is that, some organizations just give this excuse that drives me nuts, and that is, we understand that person, but that's just her leadership style, or that's just the way he is. He's not going to change, so we're okay with that. And to me, that is a cop-out. That is a terrible reason to say that leadership and bullying are the same thing, because bullying is the opposite of a leadership or opposite of good leadership. So that excuse really bothers me, but I've heard it quite a lot. And then also, organizations might want to deal with a bully, but they unfortunately often have really vague or really useless workplace respect policies that don't really identify or specifically say that bullying is unacceptable behavior in your workplace. And I completely really lobby hard for every workplace respect policy to incorporate the actual words workplace bullying is unacceptable and an example of unacceptable behavior. Because without that, it can be difficult for organizations to be able to use the policy and enforce it in the way that they ought to. Finally, our HR people who are trying to do a really great job, they may not have the training or skills to deal with workplace bullying, because the truth is, normal conflict resolution practices like mediation or anything like that, they don't work well with workplace bullies. It's a completely different dynamic, and they often don't have the right processes or the right training to handle that problem. So those are some of the reasons why our organizations, unfortunately, and despite perhaps good intentions, are not very effective at dealing with workplace bullies. And what I'm excited about is that we can all work towards helping our organizations change from being ineffective to being really good at dealing with workplace bullying right when it starts. And that's a conversation that I look forward to having with all of you.